curious, I got up and sided over to her, hoping I didn't seem too creepy. Yeah, the moment you start siding up to people slowly, then it becomes very creepy, my friend. You better just walk over there naturally and just introduce yourself with a hi or something, but the moment you start siding little by little, red flags go off. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the England Exchange. I'm your host, the overseas bird, known as Sir Falcon, apparently, this time around. So I did the first video of this, and honestly, I did it legitimately. Like, I was actually really enjoying the game. As a matter of fact, I really enjoyed the game a lot, and I enjoyed it even more recording it because it gives me a chance to really kind of touch on cultural differences, and just, it gives me a chance to do banter, and I love doing banter during games, and I think a visual novel gives me that chance to just talk about random stuff whenever I see something pop up. So I really enjoyed recording that game, and honestly speaking, you guys seem to really enjoy it a lot, and I was actually pretty surprised. So I'm glad you guys enjoyed it, and because a lot of you are asking for more, I'll do another video or two, and if you guys enjoy the entire thing, maybe we do the entire thing. We'll see. No promises just yet, but let's go onwards here today. And apparently the entire cast is here today, huh? When I entered, I discovered Angelo, Peggy, and Ashley were sitting around the larger table, each taking something from a platter of vegetables and noodles. And apparently we have Fabio too. Hey, Fabio in England, how you doing, buddy? Another guy I hadn't met before was also there. That must be Mark. The one Danny said was cute. Oh, I see. You know, he's a relatively good-looking guy, I can't deny that. You know what? Let's be honest here. You can tell another guy is good-looking when they could probably pull a couple of ladies in. Yeah. Got the long flowing hair, you know, I can't grow my hair that way. After a while, my hair just starts getting really, like, curly. If I grow it out too long, like, maybe, like, by the time it hits my shoulder or something. I've tried a couple of times. It starts getting curly. Can't pull it off, so my hair is usually pretty short. My feathers, I mean, because, you know, I'm a bird, obviously. I really hope you like it. I worked hard on it. It's free food. I'll definitely like it. You'd make a good wife, Ashley. Damn, Angelo. No chill at all, just straight up, huh? Make a good wife. Good meal, baby. Haha, you think so? Ashley flushed as Angelo laughed heartily. You belong in the Stone Age, Angelo. What? It was a compliment, she's not mad about it. That's besides the point. Alright, so it does seem that Peggy is like one of the type of individuals that take things a bit too literal sometimes, you know? Like, you don't really mean something mean by that, but people will be like, well, what do you mean by that? It's like, I didn't mean anything, it's just banter, friendly conversation that you are misconstruing because you're a bit too uptight about your morals and beliefs sometimes. You know what? I have morals and beliefs too, but I kind of step back and just, you know, I understand a person's point of view before I'm just like, well, what do you mean by that, huh? Anyway, and that set them both off, shouting insults back and forth. Mark, sitting nearby, watched with wide eyes. I tried to figure out a way to casually approach and join the group, but I wasn't sure what to do. It'd probably look bad if I just walked up and asked to eat some of their food, especially since I didn't help make it. Maybe it would be better to come back later and take a peek in the fridge. I started out the kitchen, but before I could make it out the door, I locked eyes with Ashley. Hey, how you doing, Ashley? Oh, Falcon 69, that's what they call me. Are you hungry? I made stir fry if you want some. I'm sure there's plenty for all of us. Really? Are you okay with that? Thank you, looks really good. You know, whenever you sit down next to Fabio, you're always kind of a little bit on edge, you know? You never know what to do or say. You're like, hey, I can't believe that's not butter, huh, Fabio? That's the phrase, right? I don't know, I haven't kept up with Fabio in a very long time. Ashley got a plate for me and spooned food onto it, while Mark got me a glass of water. I'm being treated like royalty here. People are serving me food, this guy's getting me water. It better not be tap water, and, Angelo? Angelo? Yeah, you look like an Angelo, I think you're Angelo. No, Angelo's the other guy, you're Mark. That's who you are. Just can't comprehend the way of life is totally... Maybe if you calm down a little, it wouldn't be so... Don't mind them. They've been at it all day. Really? Yeah, it's a bit rough, but I'm sure both mean well. It's interesting to see people with such dynamic opinions. And you guys aren't going to stop them? I don't want to get involved. I don't like to fight with anyone. I glanced at Mark, who shrugged. Everything ends one way or another. I mean, these kind of things are interesting to discuss, but as long as it's not directly affecting me, it doesn't have any meaning. What? What did that mean? There was an odd tension in the air. A few seconds later, I realized Peggy had stopped arguing with Angelo and was instead staring at Mark. How can you say that you don't care about anything that doesn't affect you personally? Oh my god. Peggy, just leave it alone already. Does that mean if you saw someone in pain, you wouldn't do anything to help them because it wasn't you who was hurting? Oh? No, that's not what I meant. I just meant that if how someone else is behaving isn't causing direct harm, or if it's just a theoretical concept that isn't harming anyone in practice that I can see, I won't bother with it. but theoretical concepts can harm people. I suppose. Well? Mark seemed to consider Peggy's point of view for a moment, then shrugged. I can't really be bothered. Ugh. Peggy stood and grabbed her half-full plate. I can't stand people like you. She marched off in a huff. Angelo chuckled as he watched her go. Thanks for having my back, man. Angelo held out his hand for a high five. Mark looked at it with interest. Your palm is quite nice, but I wasn't doing it for you. Huh? It does seem pointless, don't you think? What? I mean, everyone dies, life is short, so I don't think you should argue so much, it's a waste of time. Angelo grunted and went back to his food. Huh. You know, I'll be honest with you, I'm liking this Mark guy right now this far. I'm kind of that way too, like I just don't, I feel like people just these days just make a hubbub over everything, like we're all walking on eggshells these days, you know, we're just kind of like, yeah, if you say something, you better be careful if somebody misconstrues it as something really terrible and then you make this argument. I like this guy a lot this far. You know what, Fabio, me and you were cool this far. You might change, but right now, I'm liking it. Well, Mark, since you're new here, how do you like it? It is very nice, everyone is very friendly. Oh, that's sweet. Don't you think, Angelo? Angelo grunted again. He didn't seem particularly interested in the conversation anymore. Well, anyways, what brought you here, Mark? Mark frowned. Exploration. Oh, that's nice. Are you at the uni, or did your family send you here? I don't think that's important enough to spend time talking about. He tilted his head to the side and smiled. I don't like people prying into my past, if you don't mind. I said my fork down surprise. Did Mark want everybody to hate him? Or was he seriously just accidentally pissing everybody off? Ashley, her cheeks gone pale from nerves, anxiety, anger, nodded and picked up her plate. I'm going to clean up now. It was nice eating with you. Yeah, I agree. Thank you so much for your food and conversation. I hope we can do this again. Why are people disliking this guy? Like, for real? Are you gonna get upset because they don't want to tell you about your past? I just don't want to tell them. I don't normally, if I meet people, hey, you know what? Here's my entire life story for you. Sure, if you ask me a question, I might answer it, but, you know, maybe he's a tough egg to crack, you know? Get around to know him, and then he'll talk to you about himself. You know what? I like this guy. He's a saint to me right now. Ashley shot him a puzzled glance. Angelo stood and handed his plate to Ashley, then lumbered out of the room. With nobody else left, Mark turned to me. So, what brings you here? He seemed almost cheerful, as if completely unaware that he had just done. Did you not notice what just happened there? What do you mean? I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I'm going with it's nothing. Falcon 69, stop being so touchy yourself, okay? You're supposed to be an extension of me in Europe. Or in England, I should say. Mark searched my eyes and started nodding. I see. What? What do you see? This has happened before, you know. I do not like people who clearly keep things from me. Oh, wait, but I mean, you kind of insulted everybody earlier. You clearly didn't make them feel good. Mark paused and shook his head. Sorry, but I think I should leave. Have a nice meal. Then he, like everybody else, took his plate and left. Well, that was a great dinner, wasn't it? Sighing, I finished my food alone. Forever alone. Alrighty guys, and before we go forward, I wanted to actually talk about some comments I read. You guys let me know that apparently Nene is indeed a Brazilian name, so I was right about that. I wasn't wrong. I didn't sound like an idiot, but apparently there's been a couple of football players named Nene. There's also a basketball player named Nene, so it is a Brazilian name, so thank God I'm not completely culturally retarded. And number two is French fries. Remember how I asked about that? I was told that the reason why they're called French fries is because the way they're cooked, I suppose, is in a French manner, according to Google. So the reason why they're French fries is not because they're from Le France, but it's just a French manner of the way they're actually cooked. Now I know. Thanks a lot for that as well. I just wanted to, nudge that in there at some point. Danny, hey, Falcon 69, I'm just making the rounds up to the Luro. To do what? He handed me 2 rolls of toilet paper. Oh, thanks. There's usually some stored in the kitchen, but James won't stock too much in case someone nicks it. Try not to run out. Yeah, that would be awkward. He waved and headed on to the next door down. Yeah, normally you don't ever want to run out of, toilet paper. I've never been in a situation where I didn't have... Actually, no, that's not true. I remember this one time that I went to public restroom, which I hate. I never ever do that, just because I always make sure that my body knows when I'm outside of my humble abode, and it never wants to do anything beyond, just urinating, which is, very easy. But everything else shuts down, and it knows that, you know what? You're outside, you're not at your home, we are not producing you know what. But the one time that it actually happened, no toilet paper. And suffice to say, I had to improvise. I had to improvise. That's as much as I'm going to tell you. Nothing disgusting, I assure you, but let's just say that toilet seat covers, well, unfortunately, if you pack them up enough, you could probably use them for something else too. That's all I'm saying about that. It was the first thing in the morning. I had barely woken up when I heard a soft knock on my door. Hey, it's my boy Mark. I opened it and looked to see Mark. Yes, what are you doing here? So I wanted to apologize. Apologize for what? The other night at dinner, after reflecting a bit on what you said, I realized that you were correct. I insulted everybody at the table, including you, and was rude about it. I didn't see the error in my own ways. To be honest with you, I really don't see it just yet either. I'm apologizing to everybody else as well, but I wanted to make sure you knew that I appreciated your words. I wasn't sure how to respond, to tell the truth. I was shocked. It was such a direct, simple, straightforward apology. I rarely ever received a straightforward apology, even in situations that deserved it. Like a huge fight among friends or family. Now, a total stranger was apologizing to me for remarks most people would simply have forgotten about. Well, thank you. It's no problem, but may I tell you something? I blinked at him after a few moments' hesitation. He continued. I have been very confused. I don't think I can talk to people very well normally without them becoming angry. Since the other night, I've been noticing it in almost everybody I talk to. It was worse than I thought. It's been a bit of a problem because I think everyone's avoiding me now. People are not so sensitive in France as they are here. Oh, so he's French. Okay. Le Mac, le French fries. Oh, I know, we discussed French fries already. He laughed merrily, but I didn't see the joke. Was he French then? He didn't sound French to me. Maybe I was just too used to the parody French accents. Well, I don't want to put How convenient that I had to do a Le France thing beforehand too, which kind of sounded like Dracula too. Le France, Le Dracula, okay. Well, I don't want to put on a charade and pretend to be something I'm not, or to respond less than honestly to them, but my genuine response seems to arouse anger. It's a conundrum. What should I do about it? Oh, you're asking me, huh? Well, I'll be honest with you, Mark. Me, the person, I thought that, you just happen to be a little bit more laid back. And it takes you a while to get to tell people about yourself, which is perfectly fine. We all have different personalities. But let's see here. How should I know? Maybe it's in the phrasing. Most people tell white little lies. Or little white lies. Maybe it's in the phrasing, I guess. I think you're phrasing your opinions too bluntly. I'm pretty sure there are ways that you could put what you want to say that don't seem quite so aggressive. Ah, I see. He tapped the tip of his chin with a slender finger. It seems I'll have to give this more thought. Anyways, thank you for your help. You are a very kind person. I know, or well, I've realized that I'm probably not the easiest person to deal with. Thank you for dealing with me. He beamed at me, and my heart felt oddly lighter. I'm usually by myself reading books in the library, up in the philosophy section. You should come visit me sometime. He waved happily and skipped off down the hallway. Considering he was now aware that no one around here liked him, it was odd that he was so happy. Oh well, with that done, it was time to get on with my day. So remember, as I mentioned earlier, there are hetero and gay relations in this game. So I guess doesn't matter what sex you start off with, you have an option to date whoever you want, so keep that in mind. So I guess Mark, maybe, considering how friendly we seem to be getting with him now, might be a dating option. For all I know, maybe he could date anybody in this game. That could be a thing too. Anyway, except James, the guy who scratches his ass. Might not want to date him. I had just finished eating when Peggy sprinted into the dining room. Upon seeing me, she lunged for my hands. Now Peggy, I'll be honest with you, right now, her and Ashley are the top two go-getters for me. Maya, or whatever her name was, the girl that was partying, pretty hot too. But I kind of have a thing about Peggy, shorter, redheaded girls, fair skin. I don't know, man, just call it a type maybe. Falcon 69, I need your help. Okay, with what? Daddy has team tryouts today, football tryouts, and I want to try, but I don't want to go alone. Scared I'll make an idiot of myself. Do you know what I mean? I know you're into sports, and we're part of some teams back in the States. Won't you go with me? Damn right I'll go with you, baby. I'm glad you asked. Joining his team would be a great way to impress Danny and spend more time with him, and possibly Peggy as well. So, I just want to have a chance with everybody, it seems. Good God. Falcon 69 is more of a man-whore than I thought he was. Sure, why not? Thank you so much. I knew I could count on you. We'd better get going then. Wait, is it happening right now? Of course, come on. Alright. Peggy took me by the hand, jogging down the street, and to the nearby park, explaining as she went. It's a university team, but not the university team, and we're allowed to go since we're technically part of the university despite you not being from England, so it totally works out. Danny's the captain, as you'd expect from him, and the team is open to men and women, which is why we can both apply. The day was pretty mild for January, but it was still chilly outside. Though I suppose if we're going to be playing soccer, we'd warm up fast enough. No, it's not soccer, dude, it's football, okay? We're in England now. Danny! Peggy waved enthusiastically and Danny looked up at us in surprise. Hey, what are you two doing here? What do you think? We're here to try out for the team. A wry smile crossed his face. Are you now? Yes, we are. What? Don't you think we can do it? I didn't say that. If you're really up for it, you two can join the team on the right. Peggy, take over as goalkeeper. Falcon 69, you can be a forward. But... will do. Peggy dashed down and I was left standing awkwardly in front of Danny, not sure what to do. Everything alright? I didn't exactly have much of a chance to get ready for this and we just ran all the way over here. I was never on an official soccer team. I don't know what a forward does exactly. Well, just kick the ball around and give it what you got. No pressure. He clapped me on the back, smiling. If it wasn't for his friendly and open attitude, I would have thought he wanted me to fail, for laughs. I wasn't used to being bad at sports. I had always had a knack for them and took them to them easily, from track to swimming to basketball, or so I thought. But soccer was something different. Football! It's football, you damn American! I wasn't as coordinated with my feet as I thought. The one time I got the ball and shot it at the goal, I hit Peggy smack in the face. Then her nose started bleeding, and I volunteered to walk her to the bleachers and take care of her. Danny doubled over with laughter. Agreed. So Peggy and I didn't make the team. No sweat off my back. I didn't need another mandatory meeting every other day. Well, that's one way to make an impression on Peggy, huh? Hey, how's it going, baby? How's that broken nose that I gave you? Well, maybe some other team will take us. Maybe they'll take you. I think I've had enough of joining. Oh. Hey, it was fun to try out. I just don't want to take up too much of my time with sports this year. I'm already tired out from working. Right, well, next stop, volleyball. Volleyball? It made total sense for her hyper-personality, but not for her height. I told you, she's a smaller, petite, fair-skinned chick with red hair. God damn, that's so good. It's not my only type, mind you, but, I won't lie to you. I won't say that if I see that on occasion, my eyes won't gravitate in that direction and be like, oh, who is this? Anyway, since I've come all the way from another country, I should probably spend some time exploring, shouldn't I? I left a hostel and took off down a street, unsure of where I was going, but not really caring. I did this often when I lived in New York. Just wander. Usually I found an interesting shop, or at least ended up with a story to tell. I'm the same way. I love going out on walks and just taking different areas than I used to go into just to see what I could find. Just basically by myself. I like to go out and just kind of like be one with my thoughts, and I find it like both therapeutic and also a bit like, working out, walking. Vascular conditioning and stuff like that. It's not like running, obviously, but it's still exercise to some degree. Alright, so we moved on over here to the park. A young Asian woman with short black hair and thick rimmed glasses stood over a canvas, muttering under her breath. Now, let's just get it out of the way now. Would anybody be offended if I called this woman Yoko? I mean, come on, it's not a stereotype, but I guess maybe it is, but it's not an offensive one. I mean, Asian, she's got a little bit of a beret, the glasses. I mean, the pictures we see of Yoko Ono in that time with John Lennon were very, very much like this. Am I right or am I wrong about this, okay? I'm gonna call her Yoko for now. Don't you dare get triggered, viewers. I'm telling you right now, I'll get triggered if you get triggered. How about that? She seemed frustrated about her painting. I tilted my head a bit to catch more of a glimpse of what she was working on. It was a stylized landscape of a park, I think. I tilted my head the other way. No, it was a realistic watercolor, wasn't it? What was she trying to do? Curious, I got up and sighted over to her, hoping I didn't seem too creepy. Yeah, the moment you start siding up to people, slowly, then it becomes very creepy, my friend. You better just walk over there naturally and just introduce yourself with a hi or something, but the moment you start siding little by little, red flags go off. It didn't make any better sense from this angle, but from the looks of the woman, she was an artist. She had the whole bohemian thing that suggested that for her, it was all about the flow of things. Man, take it all in, man. Yes, it's a Chris Jericho reference. I glanced at her again and accidentally made eye contact. What do you think? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be rude. I just wanted a better look. I was curious. What do you think? It looks good. I'm a little... What are you trying for here? I wanted to capture the landscape as I see it. What does that mean? From your perspective or... Well, yes, from my perspective. Not point of view, not specific location. Well, I mean, yes, a specific location, but also my perspective. Okay. She had a foreign accent of some sort, but that wasn't the reason that I found her words a bit hard to follow. Actually, there was something familiar about her voice, but I couldn't quite... What do you feel when you look at this? Confused, but I would never actually tell her that. It seems a little morose and a little, maybe... Do you have a lot on your mind? It seems like you're looking for something but not really finding it. That's how I'd put it, I think. Did I just blow her mind? Guys, I think I just blew her mind. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to insult you. You didn't insult me. Her tone of voice suggested otherwise, though. Oh, never mind. That wasn't a mind-blowing thing. She was silent for a bit as I continued to feign interest in her canvas. This guy. Oh yeah, very nice, very nice. At this point, the conversation was awkward. I wanted out of there as soon as possible, but couldn't really quite think of a way to get going. What should I do? This is why I never talk to strangers. It's cool. I looked up startled. Oh, where'd her eyes go? I mean, not everybody gets art, you know. Everybody's got their own place. We all got our own paths, man. I nodded slowly. Her demeanor seemed to have changed, but I didn't quite know how I feel about it. Well, how about her glowing eyes? Her eyes just disappeared. Oh, they're back. I'm Jihyo, by the way, if you couldn't tell. I'm not from around here. No. Couldn't really tell. Couldn't really tell. Ah, she's Korean. That's why her voice reminded me a little of Jin Soo. I'm Falcon 69, me either. I'm from New York and staying at a hostel a few blocks away. Are you? I am too. Mine's called The One. It's decent enough. It does what it needs to do. Wait, The One? But that's where I'm staying. Is it? Why haven't I seen you around? I've been there for a few days already and I haven't seen you eating with us. Oh, I've been busy sketching and trying to scout the perfect location. You know, art never sleeps. When I get that drive, I just have to go out and start painting. How long have you been doing art? It's hard for me to figure that out. A long time, as long as I can remember. Off and on, I guess. I didn't start seriously pursuing it until a few years ago. That's pretty cool. Yeah, man, cool. Super cool, yo. Are you mocking me now? Jihyo? Is that what you're doing? You're mocking me? You're mocking Falcon? There it was again. What was that weird tone? Anyways, I'm gonna be heading back now. The lighting shifted, so I might as well just go work out at the hostel. Let me come with you. Sure, if you say so. I watched her pack up her massive array of paints, brushes, easels, and canvas into a black bag, nearly as big as she was. The only time I'd ever seen people with bags like those was in the movies, so I was kind of surprised. The hostel was only a few blocks away, so we made it in a little under 5 minutes, making fairly polite conversation. Well, it was nice to meet you, Falcon 69. You know, the moment you hear that name, you fall for the bird. Maybe I'll see you around some more. Okay, I could see that. She left before I could think of something better to say than yeah. As I headed to the bathroom, I realized how hard my heart was pounding. I just sustained an entire conversation with a stranger in London, and even made a new friend. What a good day! Ah, look at that. Nice little ending for our friend here for the day. Alright, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up here for this one, I believe. I'll do another video maybe, and as I mentioned, if you guys enjoyed it, would like to see the entire thing, I could go ahead and do that. I know what you guys are waiting for. Some of you at least are. And I'm pretty sure it's coming. And yes, in case some of you are wondering, there is also, apparently, an adult patch in the works. That's all I'm going to say about that, okay? That's what I read in the Steam forums anyway from the developer. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Information down below will tell you more about the game in case you want to follow it for yourself, pick it up for yourself, or just follow the development, whatever have you. As I mentioned, if you want to see some more, just keep letting me know, and we shall cover more of this going forward. I'm really having fun recording this, so that's what's really cool about it. I don't have to worry too much about the gameplay. I could just really just read and have some casual conversation with you guys, and you can listen to me ramble very much like I'm doing right now. I will catch you next time.